Hey everyone, I'm Erin and this is the Cardboard Republic. We have a to be played video for you today. So we are going to talk about all the games that we're planning to play during the month of January. First though, let's recap how we did with the games we were hoping to play in December. First up is Karmaka. Karmaka was our indie game of the month for December, so we definitely played it. We played it a bunch of times actually, and it was really fun. I was really proud that we picked this one for our game of the month because I loved it. It's a cute card game about karma and trying to gain enlightenment. You have a hand of cards and you can play a card towards your future self. You can play a card on another player. And no matter what you do, later on in the game, you have to bear whatever the fruit of that is. If you give a bad card to another player, it might hurt them right now, but they could use it. They probably will use it on you later on in the game. If you put a good card in your deck for later on, you can't use it now, but hopefully it'll pay off then. So the theme is just really clever. The way it's implemented is really clever, and the art was stunning. Karmaka. Queen's Architect is another game that we played. The theme? This game, I played it once, and I feel like I probably didn't get the best impression of it because the game really depends on you having this randomized series of tiles that you have to buy. And for us, we got really stuck with it. We weren't getting the tiles that we needed in order to progress in the game. So a few of the players just kind of couldn't go anywhere. We couldn't do anything. I was one of them. And so that was a bummer. I am really looking forward to trying it again. I like the theme. It was a little generic for me, but we'll see. Either way though, we played it, so it still counts. Check. Then there's Harry Potter. Did I tell you how excited I was for the Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle deck building game? Because so excited, so incredibly excited that I played it like more times in one day than I played any other board game in 2016, probably in my life. It was just so much fun, and it was thematic. And it wasn't like overly complicated. It's a cooperative deck building game set in the Harry Potter universe. You and whoever you're playing with are working together to defeat the Harry Potter bad guys. It provided enough of a challenge on the later levels that it was not so easy that you could just like play whatever and it didn't matter, but it wasn't so difficult that I felt like I needed to be like 100% focused on the game. I could watch a movie and play this game. I talked to people and played this game. I loved it though. It was just so much fun. I can't really say anything more than that because I don't think I can accurately critique my own feelings for this game. I'm too close to it right now. It was totally my jam. Harry Potter. Played it 6 times in one day. Centauri Saga is next. This is another game that we played, so go us. It is a cooperative sci-fi game set in space. Every game can be a little bit different because you're going through these different scenarios. In the one that we played, it didn't go super well. So our whole goal was to explore space and collect these things, barrels essentially, and bring them back to this like starport area in the center, like a warp tunnel. We couldn't do it. It was unwinnable after a certain point. And looking back, I recognized that there were just fundamental flaws in how we approached the game and how we started out playing it that really impacted our late game strategies and honestly our chances of even being able to finish the game. So sadly, we didn't finish this game. I kind of made an executive decision to call it when we were almost done, and we looked down and we did the math and we're like, this can't happen. The odds of us winning at that point were so astronomical, which isn't a pun, that it was just like ridiculous. So I want to try it again. I'm still giving us a check for this one because honestly, that was brutal. that was really, really hard to get through. So I want the points for that. But we are going to try it again. I think knowing what we're setting out to do from the beginning is going to make that first scenario way different. Arboretum, unfortunately, was not quite as successful. This is also a really, really great game, and it's relatively fast. The whole point of the game is to build these sets of trees. You're just placing cards, building arboretums. You're building arboretums. Look, I'm not from the city. To me, they're just forests. Like, why would you build an arboretum? You can walk across the road and go into the woods. That's not the point. The point is that we did not get to play Arboretum. We actually didn't really even get to go to the woods in December. December was a really busy month, okay? And December was hard. And so Arboretum did not happen, but it's still like on our unofficial list. It's kind of always on our unofficial list. The box for the game is so small that we just like throw it in whenever we're going somewhere. And sometimes we play it and sometimes we don't, but like who cares because it's tiny. So Arboretum, probably next month and every month after that because it's super fun. And then there's Democracy. This game was a huge joke, which is funny because so is Democracy right now. Democracy is a game about winning a presidential election, hopefully, and we did not get it to the table. I feel kind of bad, but also not really, because on the one hand, I always want to play every game that we put on our list because that is our commitment. But on the other hand, oh God, I just want to not think about presidential elections for the next few days until this all becomes real again. I need a minute, but it's okay. Democracy is going to go back into our stack of cards, and we will get to that at the end of the video. So overall, that's 4 out of our 6 games. The only ones we didn't play were Arboretum and Democracy, and like, I'm not even really counting Democracy because why would I put myself through that right now? But overall, not too bad. 4 out of 6, pretty good. Let's move on to January. It's now January 2017, and we are looking ahead. Our games that we're going to play this month are bright and cheerful, and I'm so excited to get them to the table. And that is starting out with Santorini. Santorini is our Indie Spotlight game of the month for January. Most notably, you've probably seen this game around, and it is kind of striking. The whole artwork and the sculptural quality of the game are really interesting. It's somewhat abstract in its actual playing, so I'm wondering for me if the art style and the components of the game will be enough to draw me in, even though the gameplay itself, where you're moving your workers up different levels, even if that's so abstract that I would normally not be into it. Anyway, that's Santorini. I'll let you know where I come down on that line, but either way, I'm happy that it's our first Indie Spotlight of 2017. Eon's End is our next game for 2017. This is a cooperative deck builder set in like a post-apocalyptic future. It does seem really, really interesting. You have this like void thing that you're casting spells into, and you're fighting a monster, and you're all working together. And I totally dig that. So I have been really, really into deck builders lately, probably because of the Harry Potter game. So I am hoping that Eon's End can also kind of scratch that itch for me. We will see and report back pretty soon. One Deck Dungeon is our next game for January. It's a cooperative dice allocation game. So you are exploring this dungeon with your team, trying to avoid bad things by placing dice on things. That's about all I know about the mechanics so far. It's enough to get me interested. It's enough to make me want to try it. What I do know is that when this Kickstarter first launched, like back in the day, it made huge waves because all of the art featured women. And this is kind of still a new idea in board gaming. Not a new idea if all of the art features men, that's just normal. But that's a totally different video. I'm excited to try it because I love to support designers and publishers who are thinking about including more women in the hobby and more voices in the hobby and different people in the hobby. So I am going to play this game and we will look at it and we will still be critical, but I do want to say that I'm happy that this game exists. Tramways is a crunchy Euro-style game about building tramways. The whole point of the game is to link up these different developments containing people with the places that they want to go. And you have to compete with your other players in order to get access to the best little hubs on the board. If you manage to do that, you get the most people on your transportation network. They get super happy. You get super lots of points. That's the whole idea behind Tramways. That's basically how you play Tramways. Like I said, crunchy, Euro-style game. I'm kind of excited. I hope there's enough of a theme to it to like keep me invested. I know Ryan has told me like 17 times how pumped he is for this game. It will definitely be making it to our table soon. Our replay game for January, so this is a game that we played before and that we are going to bring back, is Prospectus. Prospectus is a game with this really cool crystal ball component, and it's all about building or developing, however, I don't know, concocting potions as an apprentice that you hope will impress all of your masters in order to get power in this like wizarding hall of fame sort of thing. The whole theme seems really, really light and fun and interesting, but the game plays a lot like a medium weight Euro game. We were not expecting that. We totally did this wrong. We went into this game thinking, oh, look at all these pretty colors, look at these cool components. This is gonna be like 45 minutes. Let's just do this and then we can do other things. It took about 2 hours the first time we played it. I think that we would have really enjoyed it if we had known that that's what we were doing, but we were ill prepared. And so I want to try it again because there is something about this game that I did really, really love. And I think there's really something to it. I just was not prepared for it going in. So I'm going to fix that. Now that we know what we're in for, we are going to play Prospectus again in January, and hopefully we will enjoy it. Okay, so now is the time where I shuffle poorly this deck of cards, draw one from it, and whatever game I draw, whatever card I draw, is the game that we will play in January and get a review out on shortly thereafter. Because we did not play Democracy in December, this is the Democracy card, I'm gonna throw that back in there, and let's go. Should it right in there. Gonna shuffle. Giving up trying to learn how to shuffle, don't really care. Shuffle, shuffle, really bad at shuffle. Okay. Dark Gothic! Dark Gothic is another deck builder, so that should be fun. And it's also a game that I've played at least a couple times before. It was a while ago, but I played it. It is a cooperative game about working together in this really dark, gothic universe where there are monsters and bad guys, and you are trying to fight against the big bad guy to save the day. You have all kinds of interesting cards that feel kind of like they're right out of a Hammer horror movie from back in the day. The art style is maybe not completely to my taste, but it is very distinct, so I will give them that. And we will be able to get this played and reviewed during January. Pinky swear. Probably. So that's going to be our gaming in January. Overall, a pretty good mix of different styles and art styles of games on there. I'm kind of excited to see the variety. I am hoping to start January off on a good foot gaming-wise and every other thing wise, and if not, then gaming is still really good self-care. So if you have some gaming self-care tips or some games that you're hoping to play in January, leave a comment below. We always love to see those. Please like and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already done so. And if you are interested in supporting us, you can head over to our Patreon. Everything that you can contribute over there goes right to helping us put out more great content. We do really, really appreciate it. And as always, we will be back soon with another video, so take care of yourselves and be happy and play some games, and we'll see you soon. Bye! Moving through this dungeon with the rest of your team, which is either like 1 other player or up to 4 other players, if you have another set of the game that you can come up to 3 other players. That's what I meant. And then there's democracy! I didn't play this one on purpose because f*** you. To recap, that is 4 out of our 6 games. Altogether, not too bad. The only ones we didn't play were Arboretum and thinking ahead.